Ike Engelbaum. I'm the host of the Bright Side of Aging and the Entrepreneurs Network radio show. Due to popular demand, today we bring back Bob Allison's Ask Your Neighbor radio broadcast. Bob passed away last March, and due to the current COVID crisis, his broadcast left the air after nearly 60 years of solving household problems for the neighbors. But today, we'll devote a portion of this broadcast to helping you, the neighbors. It could be looking for a particular recipe, where to buy it, how to do it, advice of travel or personal matters, and more. I've invited Bob's son, Rob, to join us for his thoughts and input. Rob has been a critical part of Ask Your Neighbor for some 25 years. The Ask Your Neighbor website, askyourneighbor.com, still offers a number of Bob Allison's popular cookbooks and hundreds of recipes as well. Do you have a common household problem that you'd like solved? Well, while we're on the air, why don't you call our call-in number 248-557-3300 and ask your neighbor. That's 248-557-3300 for the next hour. Wow. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Do you like snacks? Well, why don't you try the Ike Bakery folks that have now created 3 new flavors of gluten-free granolas: maple vanilla, blueberry, and toffee chocolate, all sold in 16-ounce bags for just $4.99. All new is Ori's cinnamon pull-apart, made with Danish dough and rich cinnamon filling. It's great with coffee or milk and hard to stop eating. You will find all these items at the Ike Bakery Market on Farmington Road between I-96 and Plymouth Road in Livonia. Try it out. As Jackie Gleason used to say, how sweet it is. And guess what? Have I got great news for you, is that if you want to know how sweet things can be, how much sweeter it could be, then talking about Ike Bakery and having one of the marketing coordinators, community relations coordinator, I think she does everything over there. Ori and Awesome match the guest. Actually is the person that makes things run. Diane Lynch, are you with us?
I am, Mike. How are you?
Marvelous. I'm so glad that we had a chance to get to know each other in person, and now hopefully we can get you on the air as time permits, because Ike Bakeries has been around for quite a while. So first of all, just to let the world know who you are, why don't you give us a little thumbnail sketch of how you got to Ike and what your day job is about.
My day job is vice president of Ike Bakery, and I handle all new customers. I am the lead person in the building, so everybody kind of, we have a small team. We all work together, and we just make things go, Mm-hmm. The Ike Bakery of today is a little bit different than it was, even 8-10 years ago, in that we do a lot of contract manufacturing and less of the Ike brands that have kind of fallen away.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And I visited your headquarters, and I used to be in pharmaceutical sales before I got myself involved in the media, quote unquote. And, and I'd call on the auto companies, and you pulled up to these huge parking lots, and I figured, when I'd come by, see Ike Bakery, I'd see a nice store and stuff. But you guys really have a tremendous operation going. That's wonderful.
We do.
And the service there is great. And as far as the history of RE Bakery, there was a change of ownership a few years back. Is that correct? Or
About 7 years ago.
7 years ago, and that's when you came on board. Is that right?
No, I've been here 6 years. 7 years ago, it was purchased, and the formal name change was to Minnie Marie Bakers Inc., doing business as RE. And that happened in February of 2013, and it's been that way ever since. And that's when we started doing more of the contract manufacturing for private label customers all over the country. Product goes everywhere. But we don't talk about who they are because it's private label.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
So then, as far as individual customers wanting to have the bakery goods delivered to them in their own home, do you do that too, or how's that work?
We do. Let's talk for a second about the RE Bakery Market. Since COVID, we did change the hours to the bakery market. It is now Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Saturdays from 8 to 3 p.m. We may change that down the road, and if we do, we would post that on our Facebook. We do have a website. It is rebakery.com, and that is where you can see the items that we're able to ship anywhere in the continental U.S. What we ask is, in there, it tells you to call the bakery market, and they will take your order over the phone. We don't have an e-commerce site as of yet. And they ship out all the time. You know, toaster rounds, Long John coffee cakes, Danish, anything that will ship well, you know.
Well, with the holiday season coming up, I would think people that moved away from Michigan would welcome the opportunity. I think it'd be a great way to connect.
Yes, they send emails or go on Facebook and say, "Can you ship to Arizona? Can you ship to Colorado?" And we always respond, "Yes, we can. Please call the store and place your order. We're ready to go." And we also on Facebook mention that, and we usually do it on Tuesday, we remind the seniors that they get a 10% discount on RE baked items on Wednesday. Wednesday is our senior day. And then we also talk about towards the weekend specials, and usually we do those on Thursdays and list what's going to be on sale for the weekend. And those change all the time. The inventory in the store changes all the time based on what we're actually running in the bakery.
So, offhand, what are some of the specials that you have this week?
She hasn't given me her list yet, but I know that in the store there are pink signs all over, and some of them say buy one, get one free on brownies and cakes and things, and some of them say buy one, get one for a penny. You just kind of have to look at the items that are available, and they change daily, so it's hard for me to tell you that. But I can tell you that, you know, the store carries first quality product, but it also carries seconds and overruns. So everything is priced differently. So you can buy, you know, a first quality package of corn toaster rounds at one price, or you can buy the second at a lower price. It just depends on what you're looking for and how you're going to use them.
Well, that's great. So then, as far as the format, I assume you have a certain number of people that can come in at the store at the same time, or how does that work?
Yes, we removed one of the registers and put up the plastic plexiglass barriers. Okay, our employees wear hairnets, smocks, gloves, and they're constantly wiping down racks and things like that. And they do have a limit to who comes in. And we do have a touchless hand sanitizer for anyone who would like to use it. We wipe off the carts when they come in or when they leave before we bring them back in the store as well. So yeah, we pay a lot of attention to making sure everyone is safe coming into the store. and they must wear a mask. We have turned a few people away since the start, but a mask is important. It's important for our employees to feel safe, and it's important for the other customers to feel safe as well.
Well, sure. Well, I think now with the political haggling has gone down quite a bit. I mean, it's ridiculous. And unfortunately, we're going to have to adjust to the fact that we are going to have to wear face masks when we're in company with other people. Not to make light of it, but some people look better with a mask on.
So I would like to mention, if it's okay, Ike, some of the Michigan brands that we carry at the RE Bakery Market, because we have added a few recently. But we carry Sanders products. We carry a lot of Dearborn sausage products, the Carr's Nuts products, Better Made chips, Bill Knapp's, Aunt Millie's breads and rolls. And then our dairy comes from either Prairie Farms or Country Fresh. It just depends on what our dairy distributor has available. But, we bring in other jellies and jams. We also have the RE coffees that we bring in. Our RE coffee mugs, stuff like that. So there's a lot. And I would like to mention the store's phone number. It's the direct number right to the store, which is 734-943-1301. And that's for placing orders or for just finding out what's available that day. If the consumer is looking for a specific product. But our products are still available. There's date nut bars and Long John coffee cakes and corn toaster rounds available at all the Kroger stores in Michigan. I think there's about 128 of them. And then a lot of the local retailers carry it too.
Wow. But I mean, you have human beings answering the phone as well, correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely. If they dial that number, they will get a human being. Unless they're all busy, and then leave a voicemail and they'll call you back.
Sure. Well, so that number is 734-943-1301.
Correct.
I think especially for a lot of seniors that are homebound, the just being able to speak another human being about something as pleasant as the type of offerings you have would sort of make the day a little bit lighter too.
Yeah. Yep. And also, I wanted to mention that we are looking for bakery packers. If there's anyone out there looking for full-time work with benefits in a short period of time, we are looking for packing people for the bakery.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's great. And now, do they call the same number, 734-943-1301? No, what they can do is go to the website, and up in the right-hand corner there is a tab that says jobs, and you can open up a application to fill out. You can fill it out right online, and then you send it right to our HR department, and they will call. So that's the easiest thing to do, or if you're in the neighborhood, stop by the guard shack on the property and pick up an application. That's another opportunity to do that as well. Well, I always like to give our toll-free number for those people that are technologically challenged, as I like to say it, and I can refer them to the website and even the system, because our toll-free number I give out all the time is 1-888-489-8980, and then I can follow up on their behalf, because I can't think of a better opportunity than actually getting a job where you're doing things that are pleasant, and at the same time it does not require necessarily a lot of background experience, but I assume you prefer someone who's had experience in the retail business, or is that not necessary?
No, it's not necessary, because they're packing cookies, Danish cakes, brownies, that sort of thing, and or granolas and stuff. So we train everybody on what to do, And different areas of the bakery pack differently. Some are in pouches, some are in clamshells, but it's not difficult. It's just tedious, it's time consuming.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I would think with, unfortunately, a lot of these organizations like churches that are restricting attendance, that some of those people that have been doing that type of stuff might welcome the opportunity to make a few bucks.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
So
you're absolutely right.
You're doing good stuff and making people feel good all at the same time. As far as shipping is concerned, how long does it take for someone, let's say they live in Arizona, is it sent out the same day, and how does that work?
Well, it depends on where it's going. If it's a 3-day, we need to get it out the door by Wednesday, so we would appreciate getting the order by Tuesday. Mm-hmm. If it's something that's in Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, they're going to get it the very next day, and we can ship it ground and keep the cost down. But a lot of people will ask, well, what does it cost to ship? We don't know that until we know your zip code that it's shipping to and how heavy your package is going to be, because we don't know what you're ordering. Mm-hmm. So once we have that, then we can confirm what the shipping price is.
Well, now with the situation where a lot of people are having private parties in their own backyard, mm-hmm. they could order it and not have to go through the whole rigmarole of getting desserts.
You're right. Lots of sheet cakes and brownies. All they have to do is call to find out the different flavors that are available. Those, however, won't ship. Brownies and sheet cakes, they're going to get messed up. They're better picked up at store level. Uh-huh. But we have plenty for, summer barbecues, and, well, now we're going into the holidays, but, for whatever, Halloween party, you can pick up a uniced brownie and put some icing on it and have the kids put all kinds of, colorful Halloween M&Ms or whatever they want on it. Makes a great after-school kind of project.
Mm. Absolutely. While we're on the air, if you have a question or an experience you've had with Ari, feel free to call in for the next few minutes or so. 248-557-3300, 248-557-3300. And I actually would encourage you to do something that a few of my friends and I have done. And that if we're going over to someone's house or have them come, I ask them, and now it's very appropriate for people to have a customized order. Hey, I can get stuff from Ari Bakery. What would you like me to get for you so you can enjoy your visit? So that would be a lot of fun, and I know that there are a lot of people that frankly don't want to be in an office type setting anyway, and there's an opportunity to use your hands and your skill, and you got all kinds of things that you can pick up from there. Well, Diane Lynch, it's been a delight. Maybe that's going to be your new tagline, Delightful Diane. How's that?
Thank you. I appreciate that. One last thing, if I can mention, you dropped off some of the Ask Your Neighbor recipe books.
Yes.
For the first 8 people who mentioned that they heard about these recipe books on this show, if they mention it at the retail store, I have 8 of them to give out.
Oh, wow. That's Bob. Oh, yeah, that's fantastic. Bob Allison's cookbooks is actually something that so many neighbors used to subscribe to. So by all means, that's very generous of you. And all you got to do is call ahead. And or just show up and ask, and if you have a snag, feel free to call me. But the store number again is 734-943-1301.
Correct.
So Diane, keep on staying sweet, okay?
Alrighty, thanks, Ike.
God bless. Right now we're going to take a brief break, and we'll be right back. For over 30 years, Cruz Hearing and Service has helped thousands of neighbors improve their hearing and enjoy the sounds of their life again. In fact, I'm a client. If you don't hear as well as you'd like, Cruz Hearing can help you. They have an excellent selection of hearing units to fit just about any need and budget with financing available. Trust me, I can attest to that personally. They have 3 convenient locations to serve you: Farmington Hills, Taylor, and their newest in Waterford on M59, west of the airport. Phone Cruise Hearing Aid Service toll-free for a free hearing evaluation. Their phone number is 877-456-CRUISE, C-R-U-Z, or visit them on their web at cruisehearing.com. That number again is 877-456-2789. Financing is available. And Bob Allison, who is no longer around, was one of the clients, and Bob Allison's cookbooks are available. If you call Cruise Hearing, ask for the free cookbook and get a free hearing evaluation at the same time. For that, call 888-489-8980. Call 1-888-489-8980. Even if you don't get the hearing aids, you'll still get a free hearing test as well as a free Bob Allison cookbook. 1-888-489-8980. In 1932, John B. Frentz moved to Royal Oak and opened Frentz Hardware. In addition to the personal service, the family offered the community a store that provided those needed everyday hardware items. Plus, they specialize in unusual and hard-to-find products. Right now, you'll find all the gardening hardware, fertilizer, seeds, weed killers, and more for your landscape. Frentz Hardware is still family-run at the corner of Main Street and 11.5 Mile Road in Royal Oak, and according to Popular Mechanics magazine, is one of the top 12 hardware stores in the United States. If you can't find it anywhere, you'll find it at Frentz. They're open every day. Call 248-544-8111. And when you call, Bob Allison's cookbooks are available for free. A limited supply is available. And if you would like some information on Bob Allison's cookbooks, by all means, call our toll-free number, 888-489-8980. But for hardware needs, call them directly, 248-544-8111. With all those numbers, I assume you'll be able to get a lottery ticket for free, or at least $1 million. Hope that you check out Frentz Hardware in Royal Oak. Thank you. Hi, and our next guest is a real dynamic young lady by the name of Wendy Jones. She's sort of windy in the sense that she does a lot of whirly type stuff. I had the joy of meeting Wendy Jones years ago, and trying to be politically correct, I am not going to identify how many years.
Thank you.
And Wendy Jones has a lot in common with my background. As regular listeners know, I'm a pharmacist, so I spent my life in the healthcare field. Wendy Jones was involved in the healthcare field, but from the marketing aspect. And she said to herself after she saw what's going on, I think there's something that I could do that's not out there, that there's so many different programs for seniors and services, and there's always something next in people's lives. So Wendy Jones said to herself, why don't I start a service for seniors and call it Next Step for Seniors? And she's the CEO and founder. Is that how it all started, Wendy?
That is it. That's exactly it, Ike. So I've been in the healthcare industry for 25 plus years and started my career similar to you in sales and marketing, but I did pharmacy services. So I was in and out of a lot of nursing homes, hospitals, assisted living communities, and got to see firsthand kind of what happens inside of these buildings. And I also actually worked for a large food service company in addition to doing pharmacy for 8 years. And the food service company, same. I was the director of healthcare. So I was in and out again of hospitals, assisted living, and nursing homes. So after doing this for many years, I realized my heart was truly to help our families and our seniors directly. So that's how Next Steps for Seniors got started. The business is 8 years old, and our office is located in Rochester, Michigan, but we service Southeast Michigan right now, hopefully growing throughout the state of Michigan soon. But I'm blessed to have an amazing team of people. I've got 12 assisted living and nursing homes. So after doing this for many years, I realized my heart was truly to help our families and our seniors directly. So that's how Next Steps for Seniors got started. The business is 8 years old, and our office is located in Rochester, Michigan, but we service Southeast Michigan right now, hopefully growing throughout the state of Michigan soon. But I'm blessed to have an amazing team of people. I've got 12 placement specialists, and a placement specialist gets assigned to each person, each family, and they work closely with that family through the process. So that's kind of my background a little bit and how I got started, and I just have such a passion for our seniors and wanting to make sure that they can live out their years with dignity and grace.
Yeah, well, I can tell you have your own radio show on Saturdays and Sundays, that just by the way you express your thoughts, you can feel the emotion. You are gifted, and your voice really is so compassionate and all. And I'm always impressed when an idea comes to fruition, and you're doing something really significant. Because in all due respect, a lot of my colleagues in the healthcare field have, the usual services of sending out nurses, doctors, and what have you. But it's really sort of a subcontractual type deal. And I am really impressed. You've got 12 people that actually work with a family, like an extended family member. Is that right?
Exactly. Nope, that's exactly it. So they can call them at any time with questions, comments, things that they need assistance with. So it works out really well. Yeah, and thank you for your kind words about the radio program. My goal through that program is really to share information and resources, because as you know, Ike, as the years that you've been in the business as well as I, is that things happen as we age, and we don't always seem to talk about those things or plan for them, because it's something we all want to avoid, right? Because we want to stay young, and we don't want things to happen to our body. We don't want to get sick. We don't want to grow old. But the reality is we need to embrace that time. This is a time that every single person in the entire world is going to go through. So the more knowledgeable we are going through it, the better off we're going to be. So that's really the goal with that radio program, is just to give information and resources to people to do their own research and to kind of gain some knowledge on things that we should and should not be doing or thinking about, right?
Right, absolutely. Now, if someone wants to get a hold of you in the office, what phone number would you like to give out?
So our main office number, which is answered 24/7, is 248-651-5010. And again, I've got a service that picks up after hours, and a live person will be contacted. So I just wanted you to know that when I say 24/7, I really mean it, because we want to make sure things happen in the middle of the night sometimes that you need to have a call back on.
And unfortunately, that's when most of these upsetting situations come up is in the middle of the night. It's not a 9 to 5 deal.
Right.
But I want to encourage anyone interested in being in touch with you to dial 248-651-5010, and I want you to purposely pick business hours if possible, because Wendy has this dynamite assistant by the name of Michelle who answers the phone so sweetly that just in the call alone it makes you feel better. And I'm impressed because I'm into various ways of actually marketing, as you are, and you have a tagline of educate, advocate, and promote, which I find really very appropriate based on what you do. Do you want to flush out a little bit the educational, advocate, promoting aspect to your service?
Absolutely. So Next Steps for Seniors is a senior living placement company, and our goal really is to do those three components when we work with families, because sometimes families realize that a loved one can't stay home alone safely, or maybe they need some support systems around them in order to stay home safely. And that's where that educate component comes in, because we want to educate families on what those resources are, and many of them are covered by Medicare and completely paid for. Some are not, but everyone thinks insurance covers everything, and unfortunately that's not the way it was designed. So we just educate families on maybe what Medicare and Medicaid are, the difference between the two, what's covered and not covered, what are some of the support systems we can put around families and seniors that will help them. We also advocate for our seniors, and when I say advocate, I really believe that many times we look at our personal situations, we look at the community, we look at everything else, but we're not actually looking at our senior. What does our mom want? What does our dad want? What are their feelings towards situations? And I just really feel strongly about advocating specifically for our seniors, such as COVID-19 that's going on right now. I think we've got a lot of political parties involved. We've got a lot of healthcare parties involved. We've got a lot of families involved. But how many of us are really listening to our actual seniors? Because they're the ones that are wise and knowledgeable, and I think we need to advocate for them. So that would be our second component, is really advocating for them. And also, lastly, promoting independence, because we all want to live out our lives with dignity and with grace, and doing as much as we can possibly do. And when we can't, we just want someone to walk alongside us to support us. Mm-hmm. We don't necessarily want someone to do everything for us. We just need the support. And I think that's where the promote independence comes in, because, a lot of times seniors feel like their freedoms might be taken away, and that's not our goal. Our goal is to walk alongside them and to help them through difficult times.
And I was just going to say that if someone is sort of floundering around with what they're covered and they're not covered, is that part of your educational component of your service?
Correct. Yes.
And I admire you for a talent that I've heard from a lot of great leaders, and that is that you surround yourself with people that are specialists in their field. And I have heard your program many times, and you bring in top-notch experts in their respective field that you use as associates, so that if it's something that you don't do, you have them express what should be done, which I admire you for. And you're also a very giving person, so you've started a nonprofit organization to help seniors who are having financial challenges. Is that correct?
Correct. Thank you, Ike, for your comments there. That's sweet, and I appreciate it. Yes, the nonprofit is called Next Steps for Seniors Foundation. So the foundation's goal is a little differently than the LLC's goal, and the foundation's goal is to support financially, assist physically, and share spiritually. So what we found, unfortunately, through the business is that many people do not have the funds to move into a senior community, a nice assisted living or group home or memory care building financially. So that's the part where the foundation steps in, and we provide senior scholarships to those who meet eligibility requirements, and that's given monthly to the community they move into to financially help them. So that is the support financially component. We assist physically similar to what we do in the profit business, and that is to walk alongside them because they need a voice and they need an advocate. And we have a lot of, like you mentioned earlier, resources between the two of us, right, Ike?
Yeah, well,
we can come up with moving companies and medication management systems and all the things that they need that we have resources and information on. And then the last component, share spiritually, over 60% of our seniors don't get visitors on a regular basis once they move into a community, whether it be a nursing home or assisted living. So we have a team of people called Care Companions, and their goal is to call, talk with, see, visit, listen, share, pray, if they would like. So we are open to any religion. Anybody can call our office, and we do our best to share love with those people that are in need. So that's the goal of the foundation. It's a lofty goal, but I think it's very necessary, and we are in need of funding. So anyone who wants to or has the ability to bless us financially, we do welcome those, obviously, donations. And our website is nextstepsforseniorsfoundation.org. And then those that need the services, obviously, we're also here for you, and there is an application on our website that you can fill out to see if the application will be brought to the eligibility committee and see if you meet the requirements, and then we can help you move forward from there.
Right. Well, as they say in the big time, for sake of disclosure, I'm involved in working with you. So, if anybody is interested in being in touch with you, aside from calling the 248-651-5010, I give out my toll-free number all the time, 888-489-80. So either number can get us to work as a team. And I heard a very interesting interview that I think is appropriate for our discussion, that they were talking about a lot of the ways that doctors practice medicine, and they found that many seniors just want to have a person that really shows that they care about them. And they found those people that doctors and any healthcare provider that shows true compassion, that they're not just there because they have to be, that the patients many times do not have to take the medications in as high a dose. Many times they've even found when you've got a real compassionate caregiver, believe it or not, if they're given a placebo, the compassion that the healthcare provider has suffices versus having it be put on a prescription drug in a higher dose. So I'm really impressed, and I am really impressed that you are really taking it to the extra step. There are umpteen services out there, but to the best of my knowledge, and I've been around the block, no one really has like a human being assigned to a particular patient. I think that's incredible. God bless you. It's been a delight talking to you, and we'll talk soon again off the air and on the air, so stand by. God bless you.
Thank you, Ike. You're amazing. I appreciate you and all that you do for our seniors as well. God bless you. Thank you.
Bye. You like snacks? Well, why don't you try the Oury Bakery folks that have now created 3 new flavors of gluten-free granolas: maple vanilla, blueberry, and toffee chocolate. All sold in 16-ounce bags for just $4.99. All new is Oury's cinnamon pull-apart, made with Danish dough and rich cinnamon filling. It's great with coffee or milk and hard to stop eating. You will find all these items at the Oury Bakery Market on Farmington Road between I-96 and Plymouth Road in Livonia. Try it out. As Jackie Gleason used to say, how sweet it is. For over 30 years, Cruz Hearing and Service has helped thousands of neighbors improve their hearing and enjoy the sounds of their life again. In fact, I'm a client. If you don't hear as well as you'd like, Cruz Hearing can help you. They have an excellent selection of hearing units to fit just about any need and budget with financing available. Trust me, I can attest to that personally. They have 3 convenient locations to serve you: Farmington Hills, Taylor, and their newest in Waterford on M59, west of the airport. Phone Cruz Hearing Aid Service toll-free for a free hearing evaluation. Their phone number is 877-456-CRUZ, C-R-U-Z, or visit them on their web at cruzhearing.com. That number again is 877-456-2789. Financing is available. And Bob Allison, who is no longer around, was one of the clients, and Bob Allison's cookbooks are available. If you call Cruz Hearing, ask for the free cookbook and get a free hearing evaluation at the same time. For that, call 888-489-8980. Call 1-888-489-8980. Even if you don't get the hearing aids, you'll still get a free hearing test as well as a free Bob Allison cookbook. 1-888-489-8980. And if you want to connect with the neighbors, because that's what the program is called, Ask Your Neighbor, just call our on-the-air phone number 248-557-3300. If you have any comments or questions from our guests that we just talked to, by all means call in. And perhaps you've got some tips of what you are doing now in view of the restrictions that we have. In many ways, there are things that suddenly you appreciate more in life than ever before. I cannot urge you strongly enough that connect with the neighbors in just taking walks. I just made up a simple card and said, hi, I'm your neighbor, and thought that if you are interested in getting together at all, or if you have someone in your family that needs some help, you can still stay physically distant and not get our governor or any of the authorities upset. And the wonderful feeling that you have when you help someone in their life is incredible. How about just calling someone and saying, hello, I'm just going through my notes here and noticed you and I have not talked. And I'm looking for volunteers like Wendy Jones from Next Step for Seniors was on. There are many agencies, including our House Calls on Wheels, that's an affiliate, where we call seniors on a daily basis. If you're interested in having what we call a hello call, we can work that out so that a friend that you may not be able to be in touch with all the time, you have someone call just to find out, hey, I'm going to the grocery store. Is there anything that I can get for you? The positive part of what's going on today is that now almost all the major grocery stores and all have pickup service. So if you're going to combine your efforts, why not combine your orders? Please call in 248-557-3300 for the next 15 minutes that we're going to be on. We plan on doing the show at least on a weekly basis on Wednesdays, and perhaps if we get enough sponsorships, we'll be on more frequently. And the only way a program like this survives is that if you do go to our sponsors. So if you go to any of the advertisers for a limited time, because in memory of Bob Allison's situation where he had the menu minders and the cookbooks, we have a limited number left. And we plan eventually on putting the other books on the website. But in the interim, on a short-run basis, while the supply lasts, if you visit them and ask for the cookbook, then we'll get you a free cookbook. But that's for a limited time, so by all means, take advantage of it. And you can always call our toll-free number, 888-489-8980. If you have any thoughts of what you're doing to enjoy life while we're having all these different restrictions on, by all means, share it with us. What we're doing in my family is that we're taking turns that we just outside of our respective homes, and of course you want to go to a park, and there's some wonderful, wonderful parks that you can just bring your own food and have a little fold-up table. Some of the recreational centers in the area have got even the outside seating with a covered roof and all. And I'm sure that if you wanted to go a little bit further, there are now so many different event planners that can put an event together. The last thing you want to do is cut yourself off socially. There is something inherent, and we're seeing it now more so than ever before. The human voice is just such an incredible way of connecting, and that's why I'm so happy about doing the radio show, because there are so many people that have called me off the air and just wanted to hear how I'm doing because they've connected via radio. The human voice is still one of the greatest connectors when you're not physically able to be there. But why not consider, like a lot of the churches, I know the one in Bloomfield Hills, Kirk and the Hills, has music that they play inside the church that can be heard outside on Saturday evenings at 7 o'clock, and also 10 a.m. on Sunday mornings. You pull up in your own car and you hear collectively the music. I think for the foreseeable future, we're going to convert isolation into a socialization, if there is such a word, whereby just getting out and seeing one another. what joy there is just in being, even if it's in a separate car, and you wave to one another. I think the drive-in movies might make a comeback. Isn't it interesting what we may have done in the past? We can now adapt to our current situation and enjoy life. Life is precious, and life also means that you have to adjust. Flexibility is vital, because I have my ABCs of aging that I have shared with you in the past, and I always enjoy sharing it again. A is accepting we're all getting older. No one is getting away with getting younger every day. And which, by the way, I find rather humorous. Not to sound like a chauvinist, but why is it that the women are so sensitive about divulging their age? Hey, you were born on such and such a day, and you're obviously older than when you were born. So accept it, adjust to it, and adapt. B stands for balancing your life. Like in our previous interview, many people forget that there are people in retirement homes and nursing homes that were brought up in a religious type environment. All of a sudden they don't have that religiosity, another word that I am pretty sure is out there. I just have to find the right dictionary. And there's a spiritual component to many people's lives. So if you have a chance, you call somebody and maybe share a portion of a Bible that you've had in the past. But C is the real critical part of life, and the sense that you have to stay connected and you have to communicate. And by communicating with that person in their particular life, you can bring back happy memories. There is no doubt that as we age, we're going to lose friends and relatives. And rather than bemoaning what joys you had, consider celebrating the time that you did have with them. It seems more and more common now at a funeral that it's not referred to as such as quote-unquote funeral, but a celebration of that person's life. And by all means, you don't have to wait to Thanksgiving and Christmas and Easter to send out a gift. Like our previous guest, Diane Lynch from RE Bakery, you can ship some sort of a dessert that person liked, which is important for a lot of people. You know, we many times are reluctant to identify that we're getting older. And this is part of our American society, which, quite frankly, I find rather sad in the sense that instead of appreciating how long a person's been around, you sort of begin to have sympathy the older they get. They say it's great to have birthdays. This is a scientific fact that no one is ever going to correct me on, which is that having more birthdays is great, because they found that people that have more birthdays live longer. So you want to live longer, have more birthdays, and you're celebrating the day you were born. But what about celebrating the day that you're living today? We're fortunate in this part of the country that we they have not had to face the devastation that other parts of the country with these fires and floods and hurricanes. And, there's something to be said about the 4 seasons. Granted, no one, unless you like skiing and stuff, particularly gets excited about winter and the cold that comes on. But I am not a scientist and the weather patterns of the world, but one thing is for sure, the parts of the world where you have different seasons end up having less devastation. This way, again, just as in life, we have spring, summer, fall, and winter, and each has its own pluses, and unfortunately each has its own negatives. On a day where it's like 98 degrees, or in parts of the country where you've got like 3-digit temperature, it ain't too much fun that day while you're out. But we've adjusted, climate-wise. Hello, have you heard of air conditioning? Point is that we are adaptive human beings. And if we're to stay connected, and that's why I'm hoping that in programs, if you have some thoughts you want to share of what you found enjoyable within your family, call us in while we're on the air at 248-557-3300. We welcome your calls, your requests, and when we're off the air, our toll-free number 24 hours a day is 1-888-489-8980. And I purposely picked a service that if you wanted to speak to me directly, all you have to do is press number 1. And if I'm not on the phone already, I'll be more than happy to speak to you and give you my thoughts in terms of who you can connect with. Without bragging, I've been doing this now for almost half a century. So as a pharmacist, when I was filling prescriptions, I got to meet hundreds, if not thousands of people. And it was a very enjoyable experience, but life goes on. Now I am primarily involved in consulting and also providing services for seniors on how they can stay independent. Yes, there is a lot to be said about home, sweet home. Nothing is better if you're fortunate enough to have a roof over your head. And for those folks out there who are struggling, by all means, feel free to call me, and I can put you in touch with a lot of service organizations that are out there. So the point is that this is a wonderful, wonderful country, despite all of the bad publicity that we have. Our politicians are so anxious many times. They're not the majority of them. There are a lot of great politicians. Unfortunately, you got a few bad apples. And the sad part is they downgrade our wonderful country. I'd like for you to take into serious consideration my tagline that I finish off with each show, which is, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, today is a gift, and that's why we call it the present. Please enjoy your present by living life with the bright side of aging.